Chelsea 3, Bournemouth 1. We've finally won a game. Can you believe it? I certainly can't. I couldn't then. I can't now. It's an unusual feeling. It's a very unusual feeling, to say the least. Good efforts all round towards the end. At the beginning, I wasn't so sure. It felt like it was one of those games more a few months ago where, you know, we might go 1-0 up or we might find an equaliser, but as soon as the other team scored, our heads just dropped and it was like, well, this is going to be one of those games again where we either lose in the end with a last-minute goal or we maintain the draw. Sirens every single time I start a video. But we move on to the ratings, and Kepa Arrizabalaga under criticism from myself, especially when usually I give him the benefit of the doubt. And I've just watched the goal back a few times just to make sure. And whilst it is an absolutely fantastic shot, it did take a bobble and went higher than I think the geezer actually was intending to do. Albeit a fantastic goal. Made it near on impossible for Kepa, of which it was. I do think his positioning absolutely shambolic, to be honest. And also, he didn't even put his arms out. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? I know it's an unsavable shot, but all the same, at least look like you're going for it instead of the... What was that? I give him a 5, maybe even a 6, because his second half performance was much better. Much, much better. Made some really good saves, but I don't know. I'm starting to lose me rag a little bit with Kepa. We'll move on to Chalobah, and once again, out of position, but not really tested too much, to be honest with you. I know there'll be people that say this is probably too high, but if we're being honest, we've won a game finally, so a 6 surely isn't, you know, anything too bad. He wasn't terrible at all. Certainly wasn't, you know, a performance to remember by any means, but still a really good performance. And again, I might even have to go for a 7 for Thiago, because it was just a Thiago Silva sort of performance, wasn't it? So I guess you could argue a 7 for Thiago Silva, but the main man, we will actually go with Chilwell first, and a 4 for him, a 4 for Chilwell. A lot of people saying, you just love the English players, and you love Chilwell, and you know you look like him, and which I don't. But I backed him. And I still stand by it. He was easily one of, if not our best player for the last couple of months. But as of recently, the last couple of games, he's been really bad. Really, really bad. And today, you know, a 4 for him seems adequate. It just so sloppy. So sloppy. Lost the ball so many times. Out of position so many times as well. But I tell you who wasn't out of position. And he wasn't sloppy, and who actually did his job and did very well at the same time. An 8 for the man of the match today. Big, bad, BENOIT BADIASHILE bundled it in the 82nd minute. I was saying on my review on my channel, Chelsea Fans XI, we're nearly at 5,000 subscribers, that BENOIT BADIASHILE, why, where, who, what, where, why, when, how, where has he been? Where has he been? That was my immediate reaction, was why, how, and, you know, for what reason did BENOIT BADIASHILE get dropped? Because he had a fantastic game. He nearly had his legs snapped in half early on, let's not forget, and finished the game, got us the winner, and, yeah, Ben's your uncle, or Bob's your uncle, whatever. It was just a fantastic game. Really, really good game. Middle of the fields, Kante, a brilliant assist from him. Let's be fair. Really good assist from him. He's been challenged with that right-hand side for a few weeks now. And crossing is not necessarily his forte. It's not necessarily his strong suit. But boy, oh boy, what a cross it was. What a cross it was to this man, who I've given a 7 as well. Gallagher. Did I think I would be giving him a 7 at this point in the season? Not at all. But I've given it to him. I mean, he's got his critics, doesn't he? He's got his critics, of which I have been one in the past. I've also been someone who praises him in the past. He's very hit and miss, very hard to like at times. I can understand why some people don't like him, or his style of play, headless chicken, road runner, you know, all that sort of stuff. But let's not make too, you know, he scored, what was it? Where did I see this? He scored 2 of Chelsea's last 3 goals. 4 goals, I guess. So the 2 that he scored more recently, albeit the last one was awful. He scored today, then obviously Benoit and Joao Felix, who I didn't even know was on the pitch when he scored. But still, a 7 for him. I've given a 6. I'm probably going to give a 7 to Enzo, because I saw some stats and clearly, you know, there's more to the eye. He's kind of challenged with the, you know, playing in that position, in what, you know, typically, you know, players coming towards him rather than being able to just be the creative player. Yeah, I just thought, you know, most through balls made, completed passes, most recoveries made as well. He's a spectacular player. He really is, and he does seem to be getting better and better each game. There's times where I think he does struggle, and I think that needs to be addressed. Is that he does struggle sometimes, but a solid game from him, especially towards the end. Havertz, I've given a 4. Nothing against him, but again, pretty pointless, pretty useless in that position once again. Don't know the situation with Fofana at the moment. I think he might be getting loaned out at the end of the season, but who knows? Who knows? Madueke, a man in myself who has praised him or called for, you know, for him to get more game time. He's now got the game time. Arsenal game, he got the goal. He was easily the man of the match. And today, I think maybe a 7. I honestly think he could verge on a 6, but I think for the amount of effort that he put in today, a 7 is absolutely warranted. Maybe a bit over the top at times in terms of like the style that he was trying to go for with like but the thing is, you can't criticize a guy for doing more than what most Chelsea players have done in the attacking final third. Do you know what I mean? Yes, he ran it out for a goal kick a couple of times. Yes, he could have passed more often. But he's young, he's full of energy, he's like I said, he's putting more effort in than a lot of the players are. So I can't criticise him at all for doing the most that he can. Do you know what I mean? I've just been, you know, I'm aware that I'm covering him completely. But yeah, I thought solid performance. I wouldn't say brilliant performance, but a solid performance. He just needs to tweak a little bit. Needs to, you know, refine those rough edges that are his attack at times. Mudryk, I got on my nerves in the first half, I must say, and I think a 6 is probably being generous, to be honest with you. He wasn't getting the ball a lot, I'll give him that, which is a very common theme down that left-hand side, especially when you got Chilwell, who was having the stinker that he was today. Mudryk, stupid dive. And a lot of people were saying, how's that a booking? Because it was a blatant dive. That's why. I don't think he had many complaints. I think he did in the moment, but it, you know, just that dive was totally unnecessary, especially in the time of the game that it was. But, you know, promising signs, I'm not so sure. It's hard to tell. It's hard to really buy into it too much with Mudryk when you're not seeing a lot. But I do predict next season will be much better. With that said, I know some of these, especially Enzo, as it always does, is going to cause some stirs and everything, and I've probably misspoken in times. In certain terms, but we won a game. Who cares? Who actually cares? I've praised all of these players, apart from Chilwell, who I'm allegedly a stan of. With that said, Chelsea 3, Bournemouth 1. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. If you want to subscribe to my channel, Chelsea Fans XI, the link is in the title of the video and in the description of the video. With that said, up the Chelsea and peace.